This is one of my favourite things to cook at home. It's a classic Filipino dish loved all throughout the country. It's called tortang talong, otherwise known as charred eggplant omelette. Now, obviously through the name, it's all about eggplant, but the secret to this dish is really the smoky, earthy flavour. And we're going to get that in by cooking over flame. Now, I'm using a gas burner here. Also, cooking on the barbecue is perfect. If you don't have either of those, you can pump up the grill to high. What you really want to be doing here is charring the skin while making this flesh really beautiful and tender. So it's really important to get that charry flavour in. It's the secret to the dish, and it's going to permeate all the beautiful flavours. You also want to make sure it's tender because I haven't met anyone who likes raw eggplant. So in the Philippines, we have these long, thin variety of eggplants. I like to choose ones with the stalk attached. I think it looks really pretty when it's in the final dish, but also makes it pretty practical to turn. Okay, so these are looking perfect now. You can see the skin is starting to blister up, a little bit burnt in parts, so you can smell a slight smoky flavour. Okay, so while that's cooling, I'm going to get onto my heirloom tomato salad. It's really two dishes in one I've got here. We've got the charred eggplant omelette, and we've got our ensalada, or simple salad that we traditionally serve on the side. I think it's really beautiful when you have those pickling flavours coming through the eggplant, so I'm going to pour it over the top. So we need 2 heirloom tomatoes. You can get the small ones or the big ones. Really, I've selected them for their beautiful shape. They also have a nice blend of sweetness, some acidity, but really any quality tomato is fine. As these are quite large, I'm going to cut them in half, just into some thin slices. If you don't want to use heirloom tomatoes, you can use any tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, Roma, anything you have on hand. In the Philippines, we have the plum-shaped tomatoes. They're often quite green and acidic, and I love bringing in some of that flavour to the dish. Okay, so we've got our tomatoes. Next, we're going to make the pickling liquid. It's quite similar to what we call our sausawan, our dipping sauces, not like a traditional vinaigrette. So what you need is some suka. It's our native vinegar. We have 4 types: nipah palm, sugarcane, and coconut. I love all of the varieties. They've got so much complexity and depth. So we'll pour that in. Next, we're going to add just a little bit of sugar and some salt to balance that acidity and also bring a little bit of sweetness. Just a pinch there. And then some Asian shallots just to pickle through it as well. A handful is fine. And then in go our tomatoes, and they can marinate while we make the rest. And now for the omelette. Just grab some eggs here. You know, tortang talong can be made with ground pork as well, but I really love the vegetarian version the most. To me, Filipino food is often characterised as quite meat-heavy, which is really true of the food of the capital. But you go off to one of the regions like Siargao, and you quickly see our native fare, our island fare, proudly on display. Vegetables and fruit take the stage. This can feed anywhere from 2 to 4 people, depending on how hungry you are. I like to make mine in an oversized version. In the Philippines, it's quite common to have individual portions, but I think this looks really beautiful in a big pan. Have it for lunch or dinner. It's perfect for entertaining. So we're going in now with some garlic. Garlic is loved by Filipinos. There's the flavour as well, but we believe that it wards off evil spirits. So not only is it giving you great taste, but natural protection. Always make sure your eggs are well seasoned. Okay, so now we're going to take the skins off the eggplant. You only need to let them cool for a little bit because they're not so hot to touch. I just like to use a fork. Let's see if this works. There we go, and just scrape it off. It's okay if you have a little bit of charred bits in there. It's only going to add to the flavour. Eating these kinds of meals, under the palms of coconut trees, it was actually the inspiration for the title of my book, Under Coconut Skies. So many of my fondest memories are just with the wind blowing, just relaxed and enjoying the bounty of the earth. Okay, we're done removing the skin. Now we want to do something very technical. It's called smushing. So we're going to smush our eggplant so they're nice and flat in the pan. The flesh is really beautiful and tender. I've left the stalk attached. It's going to look gorgeous in the omelette. So get the eggs into a pan just over medium heat to begin, and then we're going to lay the eggplants just on top. You can have the stalk slightly protruding if you like. Depends on the size of your pan, really. That is looking perfect. The egg is just set, and you can see the beautiful outline of the eggplants. I'm going to serve it now with the heirloom tomato salad. a little garnish of coriander and chives just to bring some freshness to it. And if you like, a bowl of rice on the side, very Filipino. And that's my charred eggplant omelette with heirloom tomato salad.
Come fly with me, let's fly away to the sand and sea, just you and me, that's where I want to be. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, the world's open for you. We'll travel high up in the sky and we'll be trying all things new. Come fly with me, let's take off in.
Mabuhay. Welcome on board Philippine Airlines. The Philippines is now open for you.